Diablo IV Season 1 has been quite a letdown for me so far. I went in with no expectations and yet I've been disappointed. I purposefully avoided all the streams, clips, articles, patch notes and went into the Season 1 without knowing what kind of content I will get. All of this had one goal in mind, that is to experience the game and explore new content on my own. I started Diablo 4 very casually, spending 2 hours a day of playtime, and I wasn't going to change that for Season 1. I created my seasonal character and went for Rogue again since I wanted to use the same build and I honestly didn't want to spend time learning new class. Upon starting the game I was asked if I wanted to skip the campaign, which at first I thought it was a nice quality of life addition, but I later realized it's what made the leveling boring. I enjoyed the first cutscene and I was ready to immerse myself into a new seasonal story, but that also very quickly ended up being a disappointment. I started following the new green questline and quickly figured out everything about the newly added malignant hearts, what they did and how to obtain them. A very simple system that offers build altering bonuses. I carried on with the seasonal questline until I got to this part. It took me some time to understand what this meant until I found a new tab called Season. In there were several chapters with quite a few challenges that needed to be completed in order to unlock the next chapter. This offers a nice incentive to follow along with the seasonal questline while giving decent rewards upon completing the chapter. For some reason I also had a premium battle pass activated without even purchasing it, so I'm not sure how that happened, but I didn't complain. I quickly completed chapter 1 and 2 and the story continued for a little bit until it asked me to complete chapter 3. Full of excitement I completed chapter 3, carried on with the story for a bit and killed Varshan. I was disappointed here as I expected the story to carry on after completing each chapter all the way until the last chapter. But no, the story finished here. I had hopes that after completing chapter 4 the story will continue, but it didn't. At that point I was level 35 and completely clueless as to what to do next. Two options that I have were mindlessly farm the same dungeon until level 50 or try to level with the side quests, events and renown. I for sure wasn't going to farm one dungeon. During side questing, I realized that Altars of Lilith and map knowledge progress didn't transfer from my eternal to seasonal character as it should, despite me logging in on the 18th and the 19th before the season started. Side questing quickly became very tedious as it was slow and repetitive as I completed majority of them on my eternal character. I hit level 40 and I went to check the patch notes to see if there's some content I'm missing. But nope, that was it. That's the whole seasonal content. You have seasonal story quests that last until chapter 3, some dungeons have malignant elites that drop hearts, several new uniques and several legendary aspects for each class that majority of the player base won't even have a chance to farm, and a bunch of nerfs for every class. That's the seasonal content. With the sheer amounts of disappointment, I waited for the world boss that was about to spawn. It took quite an unusual amount of time to kill it, which was kinda fun as it didn't get one shot like they usually do. But the whole design of the fight, the boss attacks and mechanics are quite overwhelming and easy, so it died eventually by just brute forcing it. My last hurrah before closing the game was an attempt to clear first capstone dungeon while being underleveled and undergeared. It went just about as good as you expect. After adopting a very slow approach to every single mob, spamming a lot of potions and trying not to lure the whole dungeon, I was able to reach 4 mini bosses that were dealt with ease, teleported to the next part, got to the final boss and got absolutely destroyed for several minutes, before realizing that I simply cannot do it as I don't deal enough damage and I take too much damage from all the shit he throws at me. After that I logged out from my seasonal character and logged into my eternal character, spent 1 to 2 hours doing Helltide and Nightmare dungeons, had my dose of fun and dopamine and called it a day. After all of that experience, I decided I won't be progressing my seasonal character due to numerous reasons, but the main one being this. I play Diablo casually and it took me a long time to get my eternal character to the point where killing everything in one shot is fun. I have no intention of doing that every single season. Grinding and farming for what? So I can slot 3 new gems into my accessories. Blizzard needs to step up their content and they need to start listening to the feedback from players. Fixing things that need fixing, changing things that need changing and not the opposite. Who cares if a class has a build that does billions of damage? It's not like there are leaderboards or competitive system. Sure, there's PvP, but nobody takes that shit serious. Broken builds are fun. One-shotting everything is fun. Why take all of that fun away to cater towards who? People who enjoy not having fun? Blizzard is focusing on the wrong things. Instead of making early and mid game more fun, more engaging, faster progression for new players. They slow down the whole progression by making every class do less damage. If the whole design of the game is to farm, grind and do the same thing over and over again from level 40 until level 100, then at least let me have my fun. Final verdict, if you're a casual player, Diablo IV Season 1 is an underwhelming and disappointing waste of time. But if you're a hardcore grinder and a veteran, you probably won't care about any of these things I mentioned. So as long as you're having fun, keep on grinding. I won't be playing Diablo 4 on seasonal character, but I will log in occasionally to my eternal character for the daily dose of dopamine. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.